Hello and welcome back to another Invincible Asia podcast, the last one of 2025. I'm George Clark, and in this episode I'm going to discuss how the Golden Princess titles are going, the Netflix animated series Blue Eye Samurai, Last Samurai Standing, Kill Bill The Whole Bloody Affair, December's new releases, and more. So, last night I sat down to watch the 88 Films 4K UHD release of Jackie Chan's classic action adventure, Project A. Again. I mean, it's only been a few months since I last watched it, and I really don't know what it was, but something about this viewing experience just seemed amazing. I mean, in regards to how the action, the comedy, and the excitement came across, I kind of felt like I did when I first saw Project A about 35 years ago. I mean, this is genuinely one of Jackie Chan's finest films, and I still love it today as much as I did back then. But it got me thinking, why do we keep going back to movies like this? Movies made decades ago that are deemed classics by everyone around the world, and I mean across all genres, but obviously I'm going to talk Hong Kong cinema here. So let's say Project A, Dragons Forever, Wheels on Meals, Police Story. I mean, most Jackie Chan films of the 80s and early 90s, but also the likes of Eastern Condors, A Better Tomorrow, Shanghai Express, Hard Boiled, Naked Killer, A Chinese Ghost Story, and so much more. They're titles that we keep going back to again and again, but I just don't see or get that same draw from many Hong Kong or Chinese films of the last 20 years. Now, don't get me wrong, I know they're there, of course they are. I mean, we've had some amazing titles over the last couple of decades, without a doubt, but why do we not rush back to them as quick as we do with those classics I just mentioned? I mean, technically, the films today should be miles better on every level. Their fight scenes and choreography have evolved massively. I mean, some of which is absolutely mind-blowing and simply incredible. Yet I, like many of you I believe, would quicker go back and grab a classic from the 80s than rewatch something new, even if it stars the same actor. Is it nostalgia? Well, obviously some of it is, absolutely. But there's something else, something a little more magical about the Hong Kong movies of yesteryear. Something that most of the Hong Kong and Chinese action movies today just don't seem to have, no matter how hard they strive to recreate it. I mean, it's a little bit bizarre when you really think about it, but I guess returning to the film classics that we love is kind of like comfort food for the eyes, which is never a bad thing, I guess. Now, talking about classic Hong Kong films, I just wanted to chat a bit about the first wave of Golden Princess titles from Shout Factory and the others that have been put out as part of their new Hong Kong Cinema Classics label. So it really doesn't seem that long ago when I first made my video on the announcement that Shout Factory had struck one of the biggest deals ever to gain access to the full Golden Princess movie catalogue and, in turn, finally give fans the ultimate versions of favourites like Hard Boiled, The Killer, A Better Tomorrow, etc, etc. But that video was actually 10 months ago, which is just crazy to think, and as it stands, I currently have 21 titles under the Hong Kong Cinema Classics label on my shelf. Well, 20 actually, as I'm still waiting for the arrival of The Killer, which is number 18 and was released just slightly after the A Better Tomorrow trilogy. Regardless, that's quite a lot of movies released, considering that their first Golden Princess title, City on Fire, was only put out about 2 months ago. So what's the issue, I hear you ask? Well, here's the thing. When I got my copy of City on Fire, I was pretty damn impressed with what Shout Factory had put together. It looked gorgeous in its new restoration, came with a host of great extra features, and continued their line of Hong Kong Cinema Classic titles as number 6 on the spine, since their release of the 4K UHD Jet Li collection kicked it off with numbers 1 to 5. But no matter how much praise I gave this thing, and the incredible releases that followed it, the amount of negativity towards the product and Shout Factory was just crazy, and mostly from those who hadn't even seen it or bought it. Most were saying how they were going to hold out for the release from Arrow Video. And, well, now, after getting theirs myself, I can agree that it is a much better release overall. But to run off a host of complaints about something you've never even had in your hands or have heard about through the grapevine is really not the right way to approach this kind of thing. While City on Fire is the only Golden Princess title Arrow have released this far, and as I said, in a better presentation and more, it still carries everything the Shout Factory release has. It even opens with their logo and the Hong Kong Cinema Classics logo, for crying out loud. But then, like the next day after it arrived, Imprint Films in Australia, who are handling this deal for Shout Factory Down Under, advertised their upcoming releases and, well, fuck me, I mean, they look even better yet again. So is everyone going to hold out for theirs and pay big postage and packaging charges to ship them in? Well, I know that some will, but I doubt everyone will be in the same boat. Regardless, this is more about the assault on Shout Factory's releases, which I just don't get. They made the big deal. I mean, one of the biggest deals any distributor has done in a long time, in fact. And for that reason alone, I'm quite happy to support them for as long as they can afford to do, in appreciation of that. Now, naturally, if Arrow keep topping theirs, then I will get theirs too, of course, but I certainly can't afford what Imprint are putting out as much as I would love them. But that said, I am more than happy with Shout's output so far. Yes, they could be better in different ways. I mean, they could fold up that free poster they give and store it in the box like Idiot Films do. This would, save on postage and materials, for example. That bloody poster tube, I'm sure, is a pain in the arse to send. But bigger releases like the Jet Li collection or a Chinese Ghost Story trilogy and the A Better Tomorrow trilogy, actually all of the bigger Golden Princess titles should most definitely be accompanied by a book of sorts, just like the great one they did with Hard Boiled. And also, why they didn't put a Chinese Ghost Story trilogy out in 4K, as they've done with the rest of them, is so bizarre. But I do like the fact that they are combining other Hong Kong releases with the Golden Princess ones, because this will, obviously, for crazed collectors like myself, make sure that we buy all the releases if we want to see those numbers run in order when they're sitting on our shelves. So far, these include the aforementioned Jet Li collection and the Hong Kong Gamblers and Gangsters collection of Shaw Brothers movies, all of which I have enjoyed, so who knows what they have in store in the near future to help spread out the full catalogue of Golden Princess titles. Of course, you can go back through the channel or go to my Shout Factory playlist to check out all of my unboxing videos for what has since came out, which also includes all of their Shaw Brothers Classics collections and more. And with that said, next week already sees their latest release being sent out, the Hong Kong New Wave Essentials, numbers 22, 23 and 24 in the Hong Kong Cinema Classics line. Now this is a collection of earlier films from directors such as Johnny To, Alex Law and Stanley Kwan, which will no doubt prove to be one of their slower sellers so far and probably raise even more complaints than before. The films included in the set are the fantastic Painted Faces, the childhood story of legends like Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, Yuen Biao, Corey Yuen Kwai, Yuen Hua and others, with Sammo playing their own master. It's such a fabulous movie, but one I would actually have loved to have seen get its own special release. That said, there's still a very good chance this may happen in the UK via Eureka or Idiot Films, since it's not a Golden Princess title. The second film in the set is Johnny To's drama, The Story of My Son with Damien Lau. Then we have Stanley Kwan's romance drama and directorial debut, Women, starring Chow Yun-fat. Out of the lot of them, I've only seen Painted Faces, but I do have high expectations for them all, and I'm looking forward to the set, to be honest. But the next Golden Princess titles we'll see from Shout Factory come in January, which is two John Woo classics, Bullet in the Head and Once a Thief, both in 4K UHD, and both of which I'm very much looking forward to. They also just announced, only a couple of days ago, that their February releases will be a box set of Ringo Lam and Chow Yun-fat's brilliant Prison on Fire 1 and 2, and the Andrew Kam, Johnny To, Choi Hark directed action thriller The Big Heat, which is one of my all-time favourites, and I really cannot wait to see this film in 4K. Interestingly though, at the time of this recording, the only other title Arrow Video have announced coming out will be in February, and that is Peking Opera Blues, while Imprint in Australia have already promoted about 5 or 6 titles that will be coming in early 2026. Regardless though, the Golden Princess project has been set in motion, and it looks like no matter how many or which versions you want to get, that 2026 is going to be a very expensive year for the fans indeed. Now, although I have a stupid amount of amazing films to watch here in the studio, not to mention a ton to review for upcoming releases and then some, I've been finding the time to catch up on a few Netflix and Disney Plus titles that I've been waiting to check out for a while, all of which are Japanese in flavour or production. Well, actually, the first one I want to talk about is still pretty new, and that is the fantastic Last Samurai Standing, an incredibly made, tense, and highly exciting samurai action drama based on a manga series of the same name that actually only came out around 2022. I mean, you need to watch this show like yesterday. It's friggin' amazing. Think the awesome live-action Rurouni Kenshin movies meets Squid Games, and you'll have a fair idea of what to expect. I mean, in a nutshell, Last Samurai Standing is pretty much just that, a fight to the death, but for the sake of entertainment in some respects. Now there is a twist there, I'm not going to give it away, but the whole show is set during the Meiji era. Almost 300 samurai are invited to meet at the historic Tenryuji Temple in Kyoto, where they are all given wooden tags and pretty much forced into a game that could bag them 100,000 yen if they win. All they have to do is get to Tokyo, passing through certain checkpoints along the way. But to pass through each of these gates, every player will need a certain number of wooden tags, with a total of 30 by the time they reach Tokyo. Now, of course, the only way to do this is by killing off fellow competitors, but if you remove your own tag or try to escape, the men behind the game will shoot you down. It's pretty damn exciting. Now, former Japanese boy band member Junichi Okada stars, produces and choreographs the amazing action in this fantastic show. You might know him from films like Tokyo Tar, the samurai movie Hana, Flowers in the Shadows, Hell Dogs, Library Wars and Sukiyaki. And here, as the leading man, Saga Shujiro, he does another amazing job. I mean, I don't want to give away too much because there's quite a number of surprises along the way, but you really should check this out as soon as possible. And it's such a beautifully made show at that. Now, before I talk about the next Netflix show, I want to briefly talk about the Disney Plus animated feature Predator Killer of Killers. A real surprise for me and another great addition to the Predator universe. Now, I know this isn't Hong Kong movie related per se or Asian cinema related, but the story is told in 4 chapters across different times and places on Earth as the Predator aliens come down to find the planet's best warriors to battle it out back home. The first chapter focuses on a brutal female Viking warrior, the third chapter on a skilled American Latino World War II pilot, and the fourth on the big battle and final showdown on the Predator's own planet. But it's the second chapter that I want to talk about, which is called The Sword. And oh my god, what a stunning and beautifully choreographed piece set in Japan in the early 1600s. It tells the tale of 2 brothers, Kenji and Kiyoshi, who must duel in order to find out which of them will become the successor to their warlord samurai father. But Kenji refuses to fight and flees, basically. 20 years later or so, now with Kiyoshi now ruling the land, Kenji plans to make a return, training pretty much most of his life as a ninja. So the exiled brother, of course, makes his way to the brother's castle, unaware that this equally stealthy predator is hunting him. But and it's pretty friggin' cool. But when all is revealed and the bodies start piling up, both brothers, of course, must join forces one last time in order to put a stop to the deadly alien that is trying to kill them. I mean, I really enjoyed this film, but I friggin' loved this particular chapter of it. It was just spectacular. And not only does the intense action flow perfectly, but the art design and the animation is so wonderfully done, and absolutely one of my favourite animated portrayals of ninja action ever. Again, if you haven't had the chance to check this out, please do. But my favourite watch by far has to be the incredible and hugely exciting Blue Eye Samurai, a show so good that I've watched it twice already and would give my right arm to watch a complete feature-length version of the episodes on the big screen. I mean, this is pretty much pure perfection in a nutshell. The show is created by husband and wife team Michael Green and Amber Noizumi, who also wrote films like Logan, Blade Runner 2049 and Alien Covenant. But Blue Eye Samurai is just stunning. A stunning adult animation that follows a female samurai called Mizu, who's half white and half Japanese, out for revenge against the 4 white men that steered the course of her life, basically. One of which, of course, is her father, who have illegally remained in Japan after the Shogun closed its borders. I mean, if you think you've had a rough life or even a bad day, you really need to watch this show to appreciate what one person can go through and experience due to racial indifference, sexuality, and purpose. I don't honestly think I've ever seen an animated piece so mature, like so incredibly done, where the drama, the acting, and the situations have me just as gripped as any live action film I've ever seen. Like, this is genuinely one of the greatest things on Netflix right now, and it's actually been out for a couple of years already. The problem is, I just don't hear anyone talking about it. The show does feature the wonderful Mark Dacascos, covering a few voices here and there throughout. Kenneth Branagh is fantastic as the Belfast bad boy and the main villain of the piece. And I mean, visually, it is just amazing. One of the best ever. And the action is genuinely outstanding. I mean, incredibly exciting and so creative that really needs to be seen by any true fan of Asian cinema. But the dramatic side of it is just as compelling. Like, really well done. Again, I don't want to give too much away because it deserves to be seen unknowingly, so please get this on your list as soon as possible, as season 2 is rumoured to be dropping early 2026. So, hitting UK and Irish cinemas, and possibly those across North America also this week, December 5th to be exact, is Quentin Tarantino's epic homage to martial arts cinema, Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. The full 4-hour, 35-minute cut, which I personally cannot wait to watch. Now, of course, this isn't the first time the two movies were combined and released as The Whole Bloody Affair, but I do believe that it's its big screen debut, which is pretty damn exciting. I mean, I love these movies so much. For me, probably Tarantino's best films, but any chance to see legends like Sonny Chiba and Gordon Liu on the big screen, as well as take in Yuen Woo-ping's wonderful action choreography in all its glory, is totally worth seeing. But what's the big deal, I hear you ask? We've all seen both Kill Bill movies many times over the last 20 years. Well, for me, anyway, watching this lengthy epic as one whole movie is going to be something special, and actually how the director himself initially intended. But I also feel that, with this unforeseen big screen release, that perhaps, just perhaps, Tarantino might just be whetting the appetite of fans, old and new, before he announces that we may just get a final closing chapter. I mean, one can dream, eh? Look, let's face it, although he has stated in the past that there will be no third part, and the original two films were a single story, as this new release confirms, it may still happen. I mean, why, after 20-something years, would the daughter of Vivica Fox's Copperhead assassin character not be seeking revenge after witnessing Uma Thurman's Black Mamba kill her mum? I mean, even after that, Uma even says to the little girl that if she wanted to come after her to seek revenge, then that's fine. It's like we were practically spoon-fed the plot for a future sequel, which we never imagined would ever happen because it was so far away. Well, now we're here. now is the time. Now is exactly when Kill Bill Volume 3 needs to happen. I mean, not only do we have this innocent and broken daughter out for revenge, but I'd also imagine that Uma's Beatrix the Bride Black Mamba Kiddo has trained her own daughter to be just as skilled for this very reason. I mean, what are the chances that an aged, injury-riddled, older ex-assassin is going to stand a chance against a feisty, vengeful young lady? Like, come on, Quentin, let's be having it, for God's sake. So what makes the whole bloody affair worth watching? Well, obviously it combines both volumes of the movie as one continuous piece, which in turn makes for a more gripping viewing experience. Although I do believe they're going to keep in the 15-minute intermission with this big screen release. There's also some new and extended footage that gives the movie a whole new different pace than before, like no cliffhanger at the end of Volume 1 now, since we're going straight into it, but the chapters are rearranged as Tarantino had initially intended. The huge fight scene in the restaurant, where Uma fights the crazy 88, was initially shown in black and white, now is shown in full colour to allow fans to relish in its colourful, bloody violence. Oh, and just to note, my husband and I did have the pleasure of visiting this Kill Bill restaurant for dinner when we were in Tokyo a couple of years back, which was a fun experience, but very overrated and something I never need to do again. There's also a new 8-minute or so animated sequence for the O-Ren Ishii chapter, and other changes throughout that make the whole film flow better, which is going to make for an awesome watch. Regardless though, this version of Kill Bill should be a near perfect experience that, I believe, is going to be seen as Tarantino's true masterpiece by many. Oh, and apparently there are no plans to release this on physical media as yet, so watching this on the big screen is highly recommended and probably the only way to see his complete vision at the moment. Anyway, I know what I'm doing this weekend, and I hope that you get the chance to see it too. So, what's in line for this month's releases? What's going to break the bank in the run-up to Christmas? Well, as mentioned earlier, Shout Factory have their New Wave collection and The Killer in 4K coming in fast. From Arrow Video, we finally get their awesome new Shawscope Volume 4, although I've seen over the last week or so that many of you have gotten yours pretty damn early, you lucky ducks you. Of course, I'll be putting my unboxing video of that out as soon as I get mine, but for now, you can go check out my full breakdown and review of the set if you're still in two minds as to whether or not you want to get it. Arrow are also releasing the epic 4K UHD box set of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trilogy. Again, another release I have done a full breakdown and review on the channel just last week, but I will do my unboxing after Christmas since I know it's going to be under the tree for me from the kids. From Eureka Video, we have Sammo Hung's awesome Triple Threat collection. This is a great release featuring fantastic new artwork by Sam Gilby and 3 Sammo Hung movies with Manchu Boxer, Paper Marriage and Shanghai Shanghai, and is totally worth grabbing. Please do, by all means, read my full review on the website if you need convincing. As for Idiot Films, we get the next chapter of Yuen Biao's Peacock Keen, Saga of the Phoenix, which isn't quite as brilliant as the first movie, but still a lot of fun and a must-have if you got the last one, if not for the brilliant artwork by Kung Fu Bob and the collector's booklet included. They're also releasing Takeshi Miike's classic modern horror Over Your Dead Body, which will be a first-time watch for me, but I am super excited for it thanks to Sean Longmore's incredible artwork, not to mention the fact that he is one of my favourite directors. And finally, Radiance Films, who just released the fantastic Radical Japan box set in November, are putting out the Korean classic Splendid Outing, which, again, you can read my full review on over on the Invincible Asia website. Anyway, I'm George Clark, and this has been another Invincible Asia podcast, short and sweet. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your continued support as always. Until next time, enjoy your Kung Fu, and I'll see you soon.
So thank you once again for watching another video here on Invincible Asia. Don't forget you can check out hundreds of others here on the channel. You can also show your continued support by heading over to my new merch store or by checking out invincibleasia.com, where you can read my full movie reviews and follow me on Instagram at InvincibleAsia. Until next time though, enjoy your Kung Fu and I will see you soon.